What's up, guys? We are the fellows from 3 and Out, reunited, and it feels so good. Noah had a little hiatus, some thing called this little 9 to 5 that ended up becoming much more than 9 to 5. But as always, we are back. Noah, Brandon, Drew, the fellas, as we commonly refer to ourselves as. Today, we're going to be looking at EA Sports and their payout tier ranking. It's just funny to me it's a tier ranking. I guess that's a nice little cop-out from having to rank every single team individually. I mean, hey, we do it on this channel. Who are we to judge? Anyway, boys, how we feeling?
Feeling good. I've seen a little bit of this tier list, but I'm interested to see the nitty-gritty, as you alluded to earlier. Some of the teams in that fourth tier may be a little questionable.
Yeah. Noah,
Yeah.
had a nice week off?
Week off from this.
Week off from what I actually wanted to be doing. Yeah. But no, I'm excited to talk about this. It's been too long.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I think I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it is a pretty substantial drop off. I think it's close to 100K for those in tier 1, and I think it's a lot closer to 10K in tier 4. Could not tell you tier 2 and 3 how those break down, but if that would be great. I think that'd be a good value add, Brandon.
I have the amounts right here.
Bet, yeah, for sure. You got that fast Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir. Tier 1 is 99K, as you alluded to. Tier 2 is 60K. Tier 3, 40K. And Tier 4, 10,000.
Okay. I'd say... So, I mean, I'm not saying that Alabama is not 10 times more valuable than Tulsa, but... I mean, I'm just saying that there's a few on here. Once you start getting into the nitty gritty, it's like, well. Now, to be fair, there's a little asterisk down there at the bottom. Don't know if y'all can see that. Also, not trying to take credit for other people's work. This is via On 3 Sports. Go check them out on Twitter. But anyway, these are based on the final finish in the last 10 AP polls. So from 2014 to 2023.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah, so EA didn't just go, yeah, but
that makes
it does make sense, and it's kind of hard to like nitpick when it's built on like an actual matrix. However, the fact that a team with the name brand and marketability of Southern California, Florida State, Texas, Florida, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Ole Miss, I keep going. The fact that they are not in tier 1 just kind of boggles the mind. And I wonder if they're I imagine they're in order. Because thinking the past 10 AP polls, I mean, they're roughly in order.
You can make an argument
Looks
for that.
like it.
Yeah.
As far as
Logical.
teams in tier 1, tier 1 seems to be much more selective. I don't know what all went into cutting the tiers.
Yeah.
You rank them and you cut them. I guess maybe it's hard to believe my first thought would be there was a big gap between the last team in tier 1 and the first team in tier 2. But looking at it, it's Iowa and USC, and I mean, I don't know how they did it, but it's hard to believe there's that much of a gap between them.
Yeah. I don't get where you got I don't get where they got the number 13 from in tier 1. Like, that's just such a arbitrary number.
It does feel arbitrary. I'm sure it is, actually.
Yeah. I mean...
What if they still use the BCS?
Bring back the BCS.
They just turned like the computer's same algorithm just 10 years.
Computer, what ranking am I going to have that's going to get me the best return on investment? Exactly.
There you go.
I wonder if, since Alabama's obviously at the top of this list, I wonder if they're going to be able to have a little bit more liberty with the trademarked images. I just the A plastered everywhere even in like, College Game Day is not coming to this game, so never mind. But if it were, I imagine it'd be like half Alabama. But anyway, no, I mean, again, like we're just looking at tier 1 and 2, and just the differentiation between Iowa and, I mean, Florida fans. Florida State, like the entire state of Florida is getting disrespected because I don't even see. Oh, there's Miami.
Yeah.
They're like mid tier 2 between NC State and Mississippi State.
But honestly, what has Miami done in the past 10 years?
That is a good point. That is a good point.
Point based just on that. I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't been terrible, but I could make an argument for them in tier 3. I mean, maybe not with some of those teams. Now that I'm looking at Marshall,
Have they made any noise since Mark
Clip
Richt
that.
was
Clip
there?
that. They belong in tier 3.
I mean,
Anyway. No. Sorry. Since Mark Richt, honestly, the most thing that they've been best known for here lately has been not kneeing the ball against Georgia Tech.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Speaking of Georgia Tech, they're hiding there in tier 3 behind Western Kentucky and above SMU, which I just think is hilarious for a team who calls Atlanta home.
yeah, it's
But we all-
interesting looking at this third tier. Like
Yeah.
he's
I mean,
sprinkled in.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
Because this is where you start getting outside of the Power 4. And it's like, yeah, these are really good, like, non-Power 4 teams. Like, Troy has somewhat of a dynasty in the Sun Belt, or at least in their half of the Sun Belt. Marshall, I mean,
Marshall above South
that's
Carolina.
crazy.
That is wild.
Like,
That's
if
wild.
they played ball on the same field on a neutral site right now, I'm not sure who'd win. But from a marketability standpoint, I would think South Carolina would be a little further up here. I could be wrong.
SEC bias.
slightly different recruiting
Yeah.
budgets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Would y'all have preferred that they do it by conference?
I don't know how
Or-
you would.
It might make a little more sense. I don't know. Because the Big 12 and the SEC obviously aren't going to pull in the same like revenue for, their likeness in terms of like the team
I'm
aspect
sorry,
of it.
did you say
But
SEC or ACC?
SEC, sorry. Yeah, SEC and Big 12 aren't necessarily on the same.
Oh, I thought you were saying they were on the same playing field as far as marketability. I was like,
Sorry.
Brandon, I think Noah's having a stroke.
Well,
That's funny. But I guess at the bottom, like, is there anyone in tier 4 that sticks out to y'all that really shouldn't be in tier 4? I love the fact that Sam Houston State is in here, by the way. I'm pretty sure they've played.
Nebraska.
That's one. That's one, and they're not even close to the top.
I like.
No.
Kennesaw State made it. That's
Kennesaw
rare.
State, barely.
Barely.
Hey, but they're in there.
Barely
Since
made it.
2016.
Add that to the recruiting budget, baby. 10 grand. You're welcome.
Get your blocking set for that much.
Get a shoot, repaint the
Yeah.
field.
I like.
It's wild to see a team like Nebraska in there in that tier
Yeah.
4 because the name brand, like you were saying earlier, Brandon, the name brand is you would think would go a lot further.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it could have been. I mean, I understand doing it over the past 10 years, but 10 years is a long time. And
10
I
years
feel
is
like
a long time.
there is a lot of teams on this list that are a bit top heavy in terms of performance in the back half of that decade. That are getting kind of lost.
Yeah. For me, it's Duke. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that, I don't know. You're right. I mean, Duke has really only been making, like, some football noise, like, over the past 5 or so years. And the first half of this decade period that we're looking at, they were kind of struggling. They were just getting the crap kicked out of them by, Clemson, Florida State, NC State, Louisville, North Carolina. Like, it's been a tough sled for the Dukies. But I just think they have such a I don't know. It's kind of hard to separate like that logo from the basketball team, and that might be skewing like my
That's fair.
interpretation of their like brand marketability. So I'm having a hard time putting that aside. So I guess I could see, but tier 4 just still seems kind of low.
It might be recent.
Purdue is
Yeah,
the
the
same
spoiler
way.
makers.
Like
Yeah.
Purdue,
Yeah.
they've sprung a couple big upsets.
Ohio
They-
State, namely. Let's see. Anyone else in tier 4 that really surprises me? Is that Virginia in tier 4 above Bowling Green?
Mm-hmm. It is.
It is.
I mean,
you've got these Power 4 teams sprinkled in on all these other. Do you know ball? Can you tell by the logo what they are?
yeah. Y'all just want to go tier 4 bar for bar, see if we can name them all? Do we know ball?
I could tell you. There's one that I can't tell.
Off the rip? Which one?
Or maybe.
Let's do this right now. Pop quiz.
Maybe New Mexico State.
Where at?
2 above
The
JMU.
Lobos.
2
Louisiana
above
Where's
It's
JMU.
an outline of a state. Or is that Alabama? Or Mississippi? It looks like one of those, maybe.
Okay, I need a row because I am not finding it.
Bottom row.
Yeah.
Bottom row.
Get the outline
Oh.
of the state. Is that Jacksonville
That's-
State?
That's Jack State. Yeah.
That's Jack's.
In between Miami of Ohio
Jack's.
Yeah.
'Cause that's Mississippi.
and that is
Jacksonville State's in Alabama.
Jacksonville State's in Alabama. That's definitely
I don't know.
he knows ball. He doesn't know maps. All right. He's like, that's Mississippi. I was like, wait, you had me, and then
Alabama
because
and Mississippi look damn close. Okay.
they do look.
That-
They do look damn close, but the only thing that like is the real differentiator for me is that little down there at the bottom. That's Mobile. Yeah.
Valid. I'll go
Yeah.
with it.
Sorry, that's not. Also, I misspoke. That's not Miami of Ohio. That's the Ohio Bobcats. My apologies.
Come on.
I'm sorry. It's a slip of the tongue. Miami of Ohio is right there.
Yep.
There's JMU, the Akron Zips. Oh God, is that the Texas State Bobcats? I think it is.
Yep.
The Southern Miss Golden Eagles, the Fighting Illini, Kennesaw State. All right, I'm done.
I like Illinois next to Kennesaw State. That's a funny image to me.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious.
That is. Beal my ball.
Like, it's crazy. Like, okay, so you said Kennesaw State football has been around since 2016?
15, 16. Yeah.
15,
They
16?
play football in their. It was a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
startup.
no,
It's a startup. They used to.
That
run
makes
it
sense.
a lot.
I do remember that. One of my... He was a senior when I was a freshman. And he was, like, one of their first linebackers ever.
Mhm.
He was, like, one of those, big dude, fringe guy. Definitely not, like, a upper-level football player. He's a glue guy. Hey, shout out to
Hey,
Izzy
nothing
Sam.
wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So I'm just looking at the Charlotte 49ers real quick. And trying to see when
I like
Charlotte's, yeah, but like other than Kennesaw State,
The head coach
are they
for
the
them.
newest team on this list?
It's between them and Georgia State. I think Kennesaw State was
Dude.
a year or two after them because I remember NCAA 14, Georgia State was the newest team on it, which is why they were the worst team on it.
Right.
They were the
Right.
worst overall team. So I think Kennesaw State is, unless there's something I'm missing here. I think the Charlotte 49ers have been around for a sec.
They've been around for a while. Now that I'm looking at it,
So
I think the program was for a minute. If I'm reading this right, to be fair, this is Wikipedia, so
That's
yeah.
valid.
Anyway,
I think that's right. I
They're
think
still
that's correct.
pretty
But their
new.
head coach
Yeah.
now, we honestly could just make a video reacting to like his funniest moments. This dude's hilarious. Biff Poggi,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
he's so great.
he's a character.
He was an assistant in Alabama for a long time. Yeah, went and did his own thing at Charlotte, but yeah, very very cool guy.
okay. So they have been, yeah. I think in the modern era of Charlotte 49ers Charlotte 49ers football history. It looks like they started in 2015.
Oh, okay, then they're tied with Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's 2015.
Gotcha.
I'm
Georgia
not sure
State.
That recent. Huh?
Yeah. Georgia State was, what, 2010, 2012? Somewhere in there? Like brand new.
Early
No history of football.
No. Same
Yeah.
with Kennesaw State. Just
Yeah.
outright
And
creation.
it was, what the hell was his name? Their head coach. It was Bill something. Bill Curry. Bill Curry. He was on the first Lombardi Trophy winning team with the Packers.
Huh.
Poor bastard played center and got the shit kicked out of him every day by the all-pro Ray Nitschke or whatever his name is. Just anyway, tangent. Yeah, guys. I mean, overall thoughts. I love the matrix that they went off of. Like, it's fair, so it's really hard to pick this list apart. I just feel like there were, I don't know. I just feel like there were some misses that you had just going based off of the numbers. And again, at the end of the day, what difference is this going to make? Like, every school, well, maybe not every school, but most schools want to be in the game because, I mean, it's just another way. It's another way to get exposure. Like, let's be honest. Everybody's been, like, on TikTok lately, everybody's been talking about Georgia State, Kennesaw State, ULM, Eastern Michigan, like those guys. Respectfully to those teams, they don't really have that many fans. And for them to get fans via video game, even if it's through building up a bottom feeder up into a powerhouse, which is what makes video games so fun, it makes the unrealistic realistic. I mean, I think that exposure is great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, that's
yeah.
the biggest buzz I've seen, like you said, is rebuilding these teams that not a lot of people know about, don't have very big
Yeah.
fan bases. That's a big boost. I am surprised that they're paying out in the first place. I don't know if they did that back when it was a thing before. They might have, and I might have just missed it. But it's a pretty cool incentive, I guess. I mean, for the teams in Tier 1, it's kind of more of a drop in the bucket, but $100,000 is not nothing, right? So it
Yeah.
goes towards something.
Yeah. And I do also like how in Tier 1, see, this is the part where it makes me feel kind of like they fudged the numbers a smidgen. They got a pretty decent geographical coverage in Tier 1. I mean, you've got the Southeast, the Midwest, the Southeast, the Midwest, the middle of the country with Oklahoma, the Southeast. I don't know what to call it. What region is that? Texas? But it's Oklahoma. Tornado Alley, there. The North, the Pacific Northwest, the Tornado Valley again, the East Coast.
We need a geography.
Jesus Christ.
What are we
You said
doing?
Utah is not the Pacific Northwest.
No, I was talking about Oregon.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going in order.
We're omitting
Oregon is the Pacific.
all the way out.
I thought you were referencing Utah. I was like,
What? Hey, listen, Mr. Mississippi, you're not allowed to talk.
We all need to be.
I love two states. What can I say?
It's got a big A. Without the river, it loses all its identity.
Well, it's got going.
That's true.
Yeah, it is just a little crazy to me they didn't bump Southern Cal up there just to get some California presence. But again, we're splitting hairs here. I don't think either one of the teams in the top two tiers really give that much of a crap. Because, like you said, 100K or 60K isn't like it isn't nothing. But to the majority of these teams in those two categories, it's a bump.
I could see it being a pretty. I'm trying to figure out who it would be. The Raging Cajuns. That'd be a good.
Yeah, the Raging Cajuns, Navy, but like Navy also has the backing of the
military.
federal government. So
Liberty, maybe. But Liberty's one of the big boys now, or not?
Yeah.
They're. I mean, as
they're
far as
getting up there.
Power 4.
Yeah.
They're up there.
I mean, South Florida probably be a good
Yeah.
bump for them. Memphis,
Or even San Diego State.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, I think this is a decent list. I mean, if we didn't have a football YouTube channel, would I have looked at it this long? Probably not. But because at the end of the day, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But I think it is interesting to actually sit down and talk about it. But anyway, well, guys, I hope that y'all enjoyed watching this video as much as we did making it. Obviously, we had a good old time. I haven't laughed. Excuse me. I haven't laughed this much in a minute. So, yeah, I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Please feel free to drop a like. Tell us what we missed on. Tell us who we forgot. And tell us if we still messed up what state that is. You know, as always, we will see y'all next time. Please feel free to drop a subscription if you like what you see. We're trying to continue this growth trend that we're on here lately. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.